So now let's talk about what karma means and why it's related to gluten intolerance. Hey beautiful human, my name is Danielle Londono and I am an energy healer. I help other lovely people like yourself heal their bodies from food intolerances. Dairy, gluten, eggs, fish, you name it, with a wonderful and really powerful energetic tool called spiritual response therapy, SRT for short. If you're not super familiar with this holistic therapy, I'll leave you a short video right here so you can check it out right after you finish this one. So let's talk about gluten intolerance. Today, I want to share with you the #1 energy block that I've seen in gluten intolerant clients that I've helped heal. And yes, the key word here is healed, like in this testimonial right here. Not feel sick because they now follow a gluten-free diet and therefore don't get triggered. No, it's actually being able to consume gluten products, wheat, barley, rye, take your pick, in a moderate manner without feeling the irritation in your body. I'll leave you the link below so you can check out all the testimonials. Sounds amazing, no? Keep watching. Of course, no two bodies are the same. There are many energetic reasons behind gluten intolerance or gluten sensitivity. However, there's one particular energy block, also called karma, that I've seen consistently in all my gluten intolerant clients. So my guess is, without knowing your specific case, that this might be triggering your gluten intolerance too, which is why I made this video for you today. So first, let's discuss gluten intolerance. And then I'll get into this whole karma business spiel and explain why energy blocks that seem so ethereal can actually cause a physical reaction in our bodies. So you know the classic symptoms. You've probably even suffered through most of them. Heavy bloating, gas, constipation, cramps, and diarrhea. However, there are other reactions less associated with Western medicine that I've also witnessed in clients. Acne, brain fog, feeling a little mentally irritated for a couple of days is also quite normal. In energy healing, we consider any physical sense of ugh, whether it's mild or super strong, that sparks right after you can eat gluten-containing products, a form of intolerance. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the digestive system to be related. Now, gluten intolerance is not life-threatening, but it is super annoying. At least it was for me. Yeah, I had it too. I couldn't even eat a breadcrumb without my belly blowing up like a pufferfish. Right after I ate anything containing gluten, I would have the worst headaches. And I would feel tired, mentally foggy, and just irritated for even a couple of days. If you're currently trying to live a gluten-free diet, I applaud you. That requires a massive level of determination because that damn thing is everywhere. It's in obvious foods, of course, like bread and beer, but it's also in random things like French fries. In my case, I really gave it my best, but sometimes gluten just crawled into my food, which sucked. Let me know if you feel like this in the comments. The good news is that this gluten intolerance, you don't have to tolerate it for much longer, pun intended. I don't live like this anymore, and you don't have to either. I tell my full journey on dealing and healing my own food intolerances in this wonderful book right here called 3 Energy Blocks That Might Be Causing Your Food Intolerances. I'll leave you the link below so you can download the PDF and get your own free copy. However, I must warn you, if you want to heal this condition with alternative therapies, especially with SRT, you do have to be open-minded. Because what's coming up in this video might sound weird and woo-woo, but I found it to be the common denominator underlying gluten intolerance and gluten sensitivities. The root of gluten intolerance might be, in a lot of cases, blocked emotional energy. Sometimes this energy block is stuck in your liver or in your colon, but it mostly lives in your Muladhara chakra, that energy center that lies between your sexual organs. Now, here's the woo part. If you have an emotional energy block that is causing you gluten intolerance, it most likely wasn't created in this lifetime. No, it normally comes from a past lifetime. If you're just like, what the fuck? I totally get it. If you were brought up in the Western Hemisphere under a Judeo-Christian culture, reincarnation isn't part of the playbook. If you're into yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, or any other type of Eastern philosophy, you've probably heard of this before. Yogi sages and Buddhist monks have been talking about this for millenniums. Past lives, energy blocks that tag along into every cycle of incarnation, this is all common knowledge to them. They even have a word for it. They call it karma. Karma in a tiny nutshell. So now let's talk about what karma means and why it's related to gluten intolerance. Karma means action in Sanskrit. It's the notion that actions made in past lives or earlier in your current one might impact your present. Actions are not only the things that we do with our hands and with our feet. No, it's also the words we speak, the thoughts we think, and the feelings we decide to hold on to. In summary, high vibe actions lead to good consequences, good karma, and low vibe actions lead to energy blocks, bad karma. Karma is the reason negative emotions from a past life might be still lodged in our bodies today. If our souls decide to grab hold of those negative feelings and not let go of them, action, those energy blocks, those negative feelings will tag along not only through that lifetime, but to the next and the next, wreaking havoc wherever it's present. Consequence. It's sort of like trauma. You know, when you can relive and re-feel the emotions of a painful event that happened 10 years ago, today when you remember it, because the energy hasn't quite left your system yet. It's sort of like that, but this transcends incarnations. You can feel the fear, for example, today of something that happened 3 lifetimes ago, if triggered with the right props. And for some lovely human beings, I'm guessing like yourself, gluten tends to be that prop. So what karma do I currently see in my gluten intolerant clients? Mostly, it's blocked emotional energy from the moment of death in one specific past life. That death tends to be painful or violent, which is why there's negative emotional energy attached to it. I know, this sounds morbid, but hey, that is how some karma is created. Similarly to dairy intolerance, which I talk about in this video right here, there is a recurrent pattern in these deaths. Can you guess what it is? Yes, that's right. These deaths are in some way related to crops that contain gluten. Sometimes it's starvation, due to a bad crop of wheat, for example, that provoked the death. However, most times, gluten-containing crops were just the stage of the crime scene. Somebody else provoked the death, and these plants were just like hanging around being witnesses. Now, how does this seemingly unrelated event become a gluten intolerance? Great question. As these emotions related to the incident get stuck in our soul's memory drive, more officially known as the Akashic Records. The moment the body identifies the gluten, it remembers and recollects those feelings from the past life and goes into reactive mode, which tends to manifest itself as a physical symptom. Heavy bloating, for example. Now, this is just one karma that might be triggering your gluten intolerance. If you want to know the 3 most common energy blocks that might be triggering your food intolerance, I highly recommend that you download this free ebook. Here, I spill the beans on everything related to food intolerance, karma, and the whole deal. I'll leave you a link in the descriptions below. If you're curious about this whole karma, food intolerance, and spiritual response therapy jazz, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to click on the bell so that YouTube can notify you when we launch new videos. We're uploading new, loving spiritual advice every couple of weeks on Heart Chakra Day. See you next time. Much love to you, my dear.